There have been more than 15,000 fires in Brazil's Pantanal wetlands so far this year. That's triple the number recorded in the same period last year. These figures coming from data collected by Brazil's National Institute for Space Research. The fires have caused widespread destruction in one of the world's most biodiverse areas, as Mark Labelle now reports.
The world's most enviable wildlife up in flames. Fires visible to astronauts in space, ripping apart one of the most biologically diverse habitats on Earth. Flames spreading at record rates from often deliberate fires amidst a devastating drought, causing carnage, killing thousands of rare creatures, some at risk of extinction. Sandwiched between the country's rainforest, vast grasslands and Paraguay's dry forests, Brazil's Pantanal should be a haven for animals. There was one rescue to smile about, this armadillo pup, with burns to its body, seen fleeing from a fire. It's a race against time for others to save the wounded wildlife, catching jaguars and porcupines before it's too late. But it's also a sad story of creatures desperate to cool off, instead consumed by the flames. Environmentalists are blaming cattle farmers and ranchers. Changing ocean temperatures have also contributed to dry conditions, as has accelerated deforestation in the Amazon. All catastrophic news for the world's largest wetlands, home to animals, birds and plants which thrive off the annual flooding that usually follows torrential rains.
The rains we get in the state of Mato Grosso, including the Pantanal, comes from the Amazon. With increasing deforestation in the Amazon, other regions in South America will also suffer, as we are seeing this year. This extreme drought has caused many more fires than we have ever seen.
Brazil's president has been accused of not doing enough to put out the fires in his country. He's depowered environmental groups and called them a cancer, hitting out at accusations he's not doing enough.
Brazil is the country that preserves the environment the most. Some don't understand that. It's the country that suffers the most attacks from abroad regarding its environment.
But there's no doubt he's presiding over an ecological crisis, with economic development being prioritised over environmental protections. And now, for many residents of this former sanctuary, it's too late. Mark Labelle, BBC News.
Well, Christiane Mazzetti is forest campaigner for Greenpeace Brazil. She told me about the long-term impact of the fires on the biodiversity of the region.
Well, it's a very, the region is very rich in terms of biodiversity, and we may lose species forever. We are living a current biodiversity crisis, so there is around 1 million species around the planet that are in the process of extinction. And by letting those fires consume our forests, our biomes, Brazil is also contributing with such crisis. And nature may never recover, may take 30 years, 100 years, or never recover. The fire may come again next year, and this is very concerning.
People around the world, or people living close to that area even, may see these pictures, hear this story, and their heart may ache for it. What can people do? What's within the power of ordinary people to have an impact on things like this?
So ordinary people, firstly, should expose what is happening in Brazil, expose that the government isn't acting. And apart from that, people could reduce the meat and dairy that they consume, because these products are still very much related to forest and ecosystem destruction. And thirdly, they should ask their supermarkets, the companies that they buy from, to make sure that the products they are offering are not connected with forest destruction, ecosystem destruction, and violation of human rights.
And Christiana, a brief answer if you can, because we're short of time. We heard President Bolsonaro there say that Brazil should be congratulated for the way it preserves the environment. What's your response to that?
Well, it's an acceptable response, because actually what's been happening is that Bolsonaro is implementing an anti-environmental policy that undermines the capacity of environmental agencies of protecting the environment. And the numbers are very clear, the official numbers. The situation is getting worse in terms of fires hotspot, in terms of deforestation.